All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So, you're prepping for a trip, getting ready to travel.
It's exciting.
Super exciting, right? You want to make sure you're ready, your English is all set to make the most of that experience.
Yeah.
So we are going on a deep dive into some essential travel vocabulary.
That's fun.
We've got a great resource here. It's nicely organized, breaks it down first by location,
Okay.
airport, hotel, restaurant, you name it. And then within each location, you've got beginner, intermediate, advanced.
I like that.
Yeah, it gives you options, right?
Yeah.
Plus, it even has some sample dialogue, so you can actually hear these phrases in action, hear how they're used.
That's a really practical approach.
Yeah.
Because honestly, learning a language for travel, it's not about, reciting grammar rules perfectly.
Yeah.
It's about confidently handling those real-world situations.
Exactly.
Right.
So let's picture ourselves. We're at the airport.
Okay.
Maybe a little overwhelming, even for seasoned travelers.
Oh, it's true. Busy place. Lots going on.
Yeah, so many people, different languages.
But even having a few basic phrases down can just make such a difference in how smoothly things go.
For sure.
Especially check-in, baggage claim.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple and direct avoids confusion.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what I love about these intermediate phrases? They cover those little things that just make a flight more comfortable.
It's that.
Like how to request an aisle seat.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one to have, for sure. Nobody wants the middle seat on a long flight.
No, you don't. And speaking of potential stress points, knowing how to ask about excess baggage fees,
Oh, yeah.
that could save you some trouble, save you some money at the counter.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, these advanced phrases, they really show you're a seasoned traveler,
Okay.
like confirming baggage allowances beforehand or, navigating that priority boarding process.
You've thought ahead. You're prepared.
Shows you're prepared, yeah. What stands out to you about the sample dialogues for this section?
Well, I think the one where you're asking about baggage allowance policy is good.
Yeah, okay. Let's try it out.
Okay.
Imagine you're at the check-in counter. Excuse me. Could you please confirm the baggage allowance policy for international flights?
Certainly. You're allowed 2 checked bags weighing up to 23 kilograms each.
Perfect. See, you're speaking the language of the airport. All right, so we've made it through check-in security. Let's fast forward. We've arrived at the hotel.
Okay.
This is another place where just clear communication can really elevate the experience.
For sure. At that beginner level, it's all about the essentials, right?
Yeah.
Checking in, getting your key, figuring out when checkout is.
Yeah. And it's so important to have your reservation details handy, too, in case there's a mix-up.
Good point.
Now, we level up to the intermediate phrases. I'm seeing some really handy ones here.
Like what?
Like asking if breakfast is included.
Oh, always a good one.
Key question. And, just don't be afraid to advocate for your needs, whether it's asking for extra towels, inquiring about amenities. Remember, being polite but assertive can make your stay more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Okay, now these advanced phrases.
All right.
Really impressive.
What do we got?
Requesting late checkout, inquiring about concierge services.
You're traveling in style.
You are. What I like about these phrases is that they show you're interested in more than just the basics,
Yeah.
Like asking for local attraction recommendations, it shows that you want to really experience the destination.
Like a local.
Yeah, like a local. All right, let's put some of these advanced phrases into action.
Okay.
Imagine you've just arrived at your hotel. You want to make the most of your stay.
Okay.
You walk up to the desk, you say, "Good evening, I have a reservation under your name, and if you have a moment, I'd love to get some recommendations for local attractions, especially anything within walking distance."
Of course. Here's your key. We also have this great map highlighting nearby points of interest. There's a fantastic local market just a few blocks away. I highly recommend checking it out.
Look at you, settling right in. You've mastered the airport, the hotel, but now I think it's time we talk about one of the best parts of any trip.
What's that?
Food.
Food, absolutely.
It's such an incredible window into a culture.
It is.
And even if your vocabulary is limited, having a few basic phrases can make your dining experiences so much more enjoyable.
For sure.
Ordering from a menu, asking about the price, just navigating those initial interactions can feel so much smoother.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much a simple please and thank you can go, even if that's all the local language you know.
It does. It shows respect.
It does. It shows respect, a willingness to engage.
Yeah.
Now, these intermediate phrases, they're starting to get into some fun territory.
What are we talking about?
Like asking about the specialty of the house.
Oh, good one.
Right.
Yeah.
What a great way to try something new, something exciting.
You discover those hidden gems that way, not always in the guidebooks.
You do, you do. And requesting recommendations from your server,
Oh, yeah.
it shows that you're open to exploring local flavors.
It does. It shows a willingness to go beyond your comfort zone,
Yeah.
which can lead to some amazing experiences.
Some really memorable culinary experiences. What are your thoughts on the advanced phrases in this section?
Well, I'm impressed with the level of detail here.
Yeah.
Handling dietary restrictions,
Yeah.
inquiring about wine pairings. You're a foodie expert.
You are.
It's great. And, even if you don't consider yourself a foodie, having a phrase ready for, if your steak's undercooked,
Oh, yeah.
that can be helpful. It's
Yeah.
about being able to communicate your needs clearly, but politely,
Yeah.
even in a slightly awkward situation.
Yeah. And this sample dialogue is a perfect example of that. Let's imagine you're at a lovely restaurant, but you need to check about vegetarian options.
Okay.
Excuse me, are there any vegetarian options on the menu?
Yes, of course. We have a delightful lentil stew and a roasted vegetable pasta that are both quite popular.
So polite and helpful. Now, with our stomachs full, our confidence boosted, I think it's time we head out and explore the city.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah. This section is all about giving you the tools to navigate a new place with confidence. From basic directions to figuring out the best way to get somewhere, we've got you covered.
Great. Yeah, and sometimes those unexpected detours lead to the most interesting discoveries.
That's so true. Speaking of detours, I'm really curious about these intermediate phrases for asking about alternative routes or reporting delays.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're anticipating the unexpected.
Exactly. Because, let's be real, travel rarely goes exactly according to plan.
Right.
Being able to adapt on the fly, that's crucial.
It is. It is. What are your thoughts on the advanced phrases for this section?
Well, these definitely take things to the next level.
Yeah.
Booking private cars, understanding toll systems, even handling car rentals.
You're a transportation pro.
It's all about giving you that flexibility to explore a destination on your own terms.
I like.
Whether you're sticking to public transport or venturing off the beaten path, having these phrases in your toolkit, it can really empower you.
Okay, let's put our transportation vocabulary to the test.
All right.
Imagine we're at a bustling train station. We need to catch our next train.
Okay.
Excuse me, what time does the next train to your destination depart?
The next train departs from Platform 5 at 10:15 a.m. Would you like me to show you where that is?
Wow, we're on our way. Now, we've tackled getting around, but there's another essential part of travel we need to talk about.
What's that?
Shopping.
Oh, yes.
Shopping.
It's such a fun way to experience a new place, whether you're browsing local markets for souvenirs or, seeking out those one-of-a-kind treasures.
Absolutely.
And this section has phrases for every kind of shopping experience, from, simple inquiries to those more nuanced interactions.
Even at that beginner level, having those essential phrases down can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Asking about prices, sizes, do they accept credit cards? It helps you navigate those initial exchanges. Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that, even if you don't speak the local language fluently, showing that you're making an effort to communicate respectfully, it can really enhance those interactions.
I agree.
It can. It can. Now, the intermediate phrases, they're all about engaging with the shopping experience more deeply.
Okay.
Expressing interest, asking for assistance, even trying on clothes. It takes things to the next level.
Yeah.
I love how practical these phrases are. Let's be honest, we've all been in that situation where you need to ask, do you have this in a different size? Or can I try this on? Having those phrases ready can be a lifesaver.
It's true. It's about being able to communicate your needs clearly and confidently.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the advanced phrases here?
Well, these are for the true shopping aficionado. Bargaining, inquiring about specific items, even complimenting the craftsmanship.
You're a master negotiator.
And it's about more than just making a purchase.
Yeah.
It's about appreciating the artistry, the cultural significance behind the objects you're buying. Complimenting someone's work can create a special connection.
It's those little moments of human connection that can make a trip so memorable.
For sure.
Now, we've talked about a lot of positive travel scenarios, but it's also important to be prepared for those, just in case moments.
Right.
So let's talk about handling emergencies.
Okay, this is where clear, concise communication is absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
Knowing a few key phrases can make all the difference in getting the help you need, especially in a stressful situation.
Absolutely. At the beginner level, it's about mastering those essential phrases. calling for help, explaining that you need a doctor, reporting a theft.
Right.
It's about knowing how to get your message across in those critical moments.
And even if you don't know a lot of, medical terminology,
Right.
being able to convey some basic information is so helpful.
It is. It is. The intermediate phrases cover things like describing symptoms, explaining allergies, finding the nearest pharmacy.
It's like having a little mini first aid kit
Yes.
of essential phrases.
Ready to go. What stands out to you in the advanced phrases for this section?
Well, these phrases are about being prepared for, more complex medical situations,
Okay.
describing pre-existing conditions, requesting specific medications, even understanding insurance coverage.
Yeah,
It can really put your mind at ease.
it can. It's about being proactive and informed, which can be so empowering, especially when you're far from home.
Exactly.
So let's imagine a scenario where you need to seek medical attention.
Okay.
You walk up to the desk and you say, "Excuse me, I need to see a doctor. I'm feeling unwell and I think I might have a fever."
Certainly, I can help you with that. Is there a particular type of doctor you need to see?
See, having those phrases ready can make a potentially stressful situation so much more manageable.
Absolutely.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about something a little lighter.
Okay.
Social situations.
Ah, yes. Social interactions, such a vital part of travel.
They are. They allow you to connect with people, learn about different cultures, and create those lasting memories. And this section covers the whole spectrum of social interactions, from basic greetings to those more, in-depth conversations.
At the beginner level, it's all about those foundational phrases. Saying hello, introducing yourself, expressing basic courtesies.
Yeah.
Those are the building blocks of any social interaction.
They are, and I think it's easy to underestimate the power of those simple greetings. Even a warm smile and a hello can go a long way in establishing a connection.
Especially when you're in a new environment.
Yeah.
Those small gestures can make you feel more comfortable and approachable.
They do. They do. Now, the intermediate phrases are about taking those conversations a step further.
Okay.
Asking questions, sharing information about yourself, even expressing opinions.
It's about engaging with the people you meet and learning from their perspectives.
It is. It is. I'm really enjoying these advanced phrases for social situations.
Yeah.
They take things to a whole new level.
They do, don't they? Expressing gratitude, giving compliments, even engaging in a little bit of lighthearted banter. It shows you're really comfortable with the language.
It's about connecting with people on a deeper level and embracing those cultural nuances.
I like that.
Let's try out one of these advanced phrases.
Okay.
Imagine you've just met someone new. You want to keep the conversation going.
Okay.
You say, "Hello, my name is your name. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm visiting from your city. What's your favorite thing about living here?"
It's lovely to meet you too. I love the vibrant energy of this city. There's always something happening, and the people are so welcoming.
Wonderful. You've sparked a conversation that could lead to all sorts of new discoveries.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered social interactions, but there's another essential aspect of travel we need to address.
What's that?
Transportation.
Ah, yes. Transportation, the lifeline of any trip.
It is. It's how you get from point A to point B, experience the landscapes, and sometimes even have those unexpected adventures along the way.
That's right.
And this section has everything you need to know, from asking for directions to mastering different modes of transport.
For sure. At that beginner level, it's all about those essential interactions.
Yeah.
Asking about bus or train schedules, purchasing tickets, even requesting assistance with your luggage.
Yeah.
These phrases are your foundation for navigating public transport.
It's amazing how much freedom and flexibility you gain when you know how to confidently use public transportation.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the intermediate phrases in this section?
Well, they're all about being resourceful and adaptable.
Okay.
Asking about alternative routes, clarifying destinations, even reporting delays.
Yeah.
It's about being prepared for those unexpected twists and turns that travel often throws our way.
It's about embracing the unknown and turning those potential challenges into opportunities for adventure.
Yeah, those intermediate phrases are so helpful because even, seasoned travelers,
Yeah,
you can find yourself in those unfamiliar situations.
for sure.
I've definitely had to, double check a route or ask for clarification, you know?
Absolutely. It's all about being comfortable asking for help when you need it.
Yeah.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground today. Airports, restaurants, shopping, transportation.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more crucial aspect of travel we need to discuss.
What's that?
Accommodation.
Accommodation. True. That's your home base, right?
It is.
Your sanctuary while you're exploring a new place.
It is. And having the right vocabulary can really make a difference in how comfortable and enjoyable that stay is.
For sure.
This section breaks it down, starts with those basics at the beginner level.
Okay.
Confirming your reservation, requesting your room key, inquiring about those essential amenities.
Yeah,
These phrases really set you up for a smooth check-in experience.
they do. And, those first impressions at a hotel can really shape your whole perception of your stay.
Oh, they can?
Being able to communicate your needs clearly and politely from the get-go, that can make all the difference.
I completely agree. Now, these intermediate phrases are all about taking things a step further, ensuring your comfort throughout your stay, requesting extra towels, reporting any maintenance issues, even asking for a wake-up call.
Yeah, those are the things that can turn a good stay into a great one.
They are. It's about being proactive and addressing any little hiccups that come up.
Right. And remember, most hotels really want to make sure their guests are happy.
Oh, yeah.
So don't hesitate to speak up if something's not right.
Exactly. Speaking of speaking up, these advanced phrases are all about maximizing that accommodation experience.
Okay, what have we got?
Requesting room upgrades, inquiring about concierge services, even providing feedback on your stay.
You're a hotel expert.
I'm trying. And it's about more than just getting the best room or the most luxurious amenities, right?
Right.
It's about being an engaged and informed guest.
Yeah.
Providing that feedback, both positive and constructive, shows that you value the effort that goes into creating that welcoming, hospitable environment.
I like that.
Let's imagine, okay, you've just arrived at your hotel, you want to get settled in, you're curious about the amenities. You say, "Good evening, I have a reservation under your name, and could you tell me a bit about the hotel's amenities? I'm particularly interested in the fitness center and the spa."
Welcome. We have a state-of-the-art fitness center, open 24 hours a day, and our spa offers a variety of treatments and services. We can certainly arrange a tour for you if you'd like.
Look at you, making yourself right at home. Now, we've talked about, positive side of accommodation. Let's be real, sometimes things don't go perfectly smoothly.
True.
So let's talk about how to handle those tricky situations when they arise.
Okay, this is where clear and assertive communication is key.
Yeah. At the beginner level, it's about mastering those essential phrases for reporting a problem, requesting assistance, expressing dissatisfaction.
Right.
It's about making your concerns known in a clear and respectful way.
Yeah. And remember, even if you don't know all the technical terms to describe a problem,
Right.
just being able to explain the situation in simple language can get you a long way.
It can. The intermediate phrases take things a step further, allowing you to describe the problem in more detail, suggest possible solutions, follow up on your request.
Yeah, it's about advocating for yourself.
Yeah.
Making sure your needs are met.
What are your thoughts on the advanced phrases in this section?
Well, these phrases are for those situations where, a more assertive approach might be necessary.
Okay.
Escalating a complaint, requesting to speak to a manager, even understanding your rights as a guest.
Yeah.
These could be really empowering.
It's about knowing your options, being prepared to stand your ground if you need to.
Right.
But remember, even in those challenging situations, maintaining a polite and respectful tone can go such a long way in achieving a positive outcome.
Absolutely.
All right, let's imagine a scenario. You encounter a problem in your room.
Okay.
You go to the front desk, you say, "Excuse me, I'm afraid there's a problem with my room. The air conditioning isn't working, and it's quite uncomfortable."
I apologize for the inconvenience. We'll send someone up right away to take a look. In the meantime, would you like a fan to help cool the room down?
Perfect. You handled that situation with grace and efficiency.
Thank you.
Now, we've covered so much in this deep dive. Airports, hotels, dining, social interactions.
Leading the journey.
But there's one more essential ingredient to successful travel that I want to touch on.
What's that?
Cultural awareness.
Cultural awareness. So important.
It is. It's about recognizing and appreciating the diversity of customs, traditions, social norms around the world.
Absolutely.
Approaching every interaction with respect and an open mind.
Yeah.
This section really emphasizes, being mindful, adapting our behavior to the local customs.
Right.
Even at that beginner level, those basic gestures of politeness and respect, like saying please and thank you, can make such a big difference in how you're perceived.
It's true. It's those little acts of courtesy that show you're making an effort to understand and respect the local culture.
The intermediate phrases delve a little bit deeper navigating social situations, understanding dining etiquette, even being mindful of religious practices.
Right.
It's about being observant, adapting our behavior to those subtle cues.
I agree.
What are your thoughts on the advanced phrases for cultural awareness?
Well, these really highlight the transformative power of, cultural immersion.
Yeah.
Understanding nonverbal communication, appreciating cultural values, even engaging in those meaningful conversations about local traditions.
Yeah.
It's about going beyond the surface and connecting with the heart of a culture.
It's about moving from being a passive observer to an active participant in that cultural landscape.
Like that.
Let's imagine a scenario. You're visiting a temple. You're unsure about the etiquette.
Okay.
You ask, "Excuse me, is it appropriate for me to take photos inside the temple?"
Photography is not permitted inside the temple as a sign of respect for the sacred space.
Yeah.
However, you are welcome to take photos of the exterior architecture.
See, a simple question can help you avoid an unintentional cultural faux pas,
It can?
and it shows a genuine desire to be respectful.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot in this deep dive into English travel vocabulary.
We have.
From navigating those airports and hotels to handling emergencies, immersing ourselves in new cultures, we've equipped you with the phrases, the strategies to confidently handle a whole range of situations.
I hope so.
So as you embark on your next adventure, remember to embrace that power of communication, be respectful of those different cultures, and most importantly,
Yeah.
have fun.
Have fun. Safe travels.
Safe travels, everyone, and we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, yeah.
What aspect of travel are you most looking forward to using your newfound English skills for?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Okay. So going from intermediate to advanced English,
Ooh, yeah,
it's a big jump.
it is.
It is a big jump, but it's totally doable.
Absolutely.
And in this deep dive, we are here to help you make that jump.
That's right.
We're going to be your guides, and we're going to be sharing some of the best shortcuts and secrets.
Yeah, all those little kind of cheat codes, those hacks
Cheat codes, yeah,
to unlock
to unlock your English
their
potential.
full potential. Exactly.
Because we've got a treasure trove of tips and tricks
We do.
to help you with all 4 skill areas.
Yeah.
Reading, writing, listening, and speaking.
It's all covered.
All covered. And the best part is you can start using these right away.
Immediately.
This isn't just theory.
Yeah, this is practical.
This is practical stuff.
Stuff you can use day to day.
No need to dust off the grammar textbooks.
Nope.
None of that. We're diving right into the real world.
The real deal. Real world English.
The real deal.
How to speak and write and listen and read like a native speaker.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's kick things off with reading.
Okay.
So, you've been crushing those Agatha Christie novels.
That's great.
You're doing really well with those, but
It's time to level up.
it's time to level up.
We're going to graduate to the
Big leagues.
Economist.
The Economist, exactly.
BBC News articles, maybe even some academic journals.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there.
Putting, your skills to the test.
Yeah.
Getting you ready for that university application or that job interview.
Okay, so I remember when I first started reading, complex texts, it felt like I was encountering a new language.
Oh, I know that feeling.
It's like every other word I didn't understand.
Right.
And I want to grab the dictionary
Yes.
and look up everything.
It's so tempting.
It's so tempting, but is that the most effective way to learn?
Well, it can be a bit of a trap
Okay.
because,
Yeah.
constantly stopping to look up every word,
Yeah.
it really kind of breaks your flow.
Yeah.
It can make reading feel like a chore.
It can, yeah. Instead, I really want you to kind of harness the power of context clues.
Okay.
Think of yourself as a detective,
Ooh.
piecing together a mystery.
Yep.
You don't always need every single detail to understand the big picture.
Right.
So let's say you come across a sentence. Like the scientist's groundbreaking research earned her accolades from the international community.
Okay.
Now, you might not know what accolades means right away, but from the context, can you kind of guess?
Yeah. It sounds like she's earned some kind of recognition or praise.
Exactly.
Yeah. Getting awards or something.
Yeah, maybe awards, praise, recognition,
Something like that.
something positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so you've used the clues around the word
The context clue.
to figure out the meaning.
Ooh. I like that detective work. It's fun.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
It's like a puzzle.
And it's a little bit less intimidating
Oh, for sure.
than having to look up every single word.
Yeah, and another strategy you can use to get better at this is to actually look for synonyms or antonyms
Okay.
in the sentence or the surrounding sentences.
Okay.
Because often they can kind of give you these hints
Oh, okay.
about the meaning of that unknown word.
So it's almost like a built-in kind of decoder ring
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
you to figure out the
I
vocabulary.
like that. Yeah.
I like that.
The decoder ring. That's great.
So what about exploring different genres?
Oh, yeah. That's a great point.
Does that help as well?
It does.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because venturing into different writing styles,
Okay.
like poetry or technical writing,
Yeah.
or even legal documents,
Oh, yeah.
it can expose you to a wider range of vocabulary and different sentence structures.
Right. So it's like adding different spices to your
Yeah.
language palette.
I love that.
Okay, so we've tackled reading.
We have.
But what about writing?
All right, writing.
How do we go from writing, grammatically correct sentences
Yeah.
to crafting really sophisticated
Sophisticated.
and stylish prose?
Oh, that's the goal.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's about moving beyond
Yeah.
simply conveying information.
Yay.
It's about expressing yourself
Yeah, that's a really good point.
with nuance
With nuance.
and impact. Yes.
So instead of saying, I like traveling,
Right.
you could say,
Uh,
I'm captivated by the allure of exploring diverse cultures and breathtaking landscapes.
wow. Yeah.
Same thought,
Much more evocative.
but way more impactful.
Right.
It's like you're painting a picture
Exactly.
with your words.
Instead of just stating a fact,
Yeah.
you're actually bringing the reader with you on that journey.
But how do you learn to do that?
That's a great question.
I mean, it feels a bit daunting.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be, but there are, certain things you can focus on.
Okay.
One is to actually really think about your sentence structure
Right.
instead of relying on those simple subject, verb, object sentences.
Yeah.
Experiment
Okay.
with things like compound and complex sentences.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I went to the store, I could say, although it was raining heavily, I ventured out to the store because I desperately needed coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Is that kind of what you mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're adding detail.
You're adding detail and you're creating a more kind of interesting narrative
Right.
just by changing that sentence structure.
Yeah, so it's not just about adding like fancy vocabulary.
No.
It's about structure.
It's
how
about-
you're
it's all-
crafting it.
The way you put those words together,
Yeah, okay.
the way you phrase things
Real.
to create a certain effect.
So it's about being intentional
Yes.
with your choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So we've talked about reading. We've talked about writing.
Yes.
Now let's talk about listening.
Ooh.
Listing, which can be one of the most challenging
It can be.
aspects of language learning.
Especially at the advanced level.
Like when you encounter
Yeah.
different accents,
Accents,
rapid speech,
the speed,
and
idioms. Yes.
that make no sense.
That make absolutely no sense when you first hear them.
Yeah,
Right.
like a linguistic jungle out there.
It is.
Do you have any tips for navigating that?
Well, I think one of the best things you can do
Okay.
is to really immerse yourself
Okay.
in authentic English content.
Okay, so like not just language learning podcasts,
Not just those,
but like branching out.
branching out, listening to podcasts designed for native speakers, even if they're not about topics that you're, super familiar with.
Right. So it's okay if I don't understand every single word.
Exactly.
It's more about
Getting that exposure
getting that exposure.
to the natural flow and the speed
Yeah.
of real English.
Okay, so would you recommend things like, if I'm going to listen to podcasts?
Yes.
What kind of podcasts?
Well, there are so many,
Okay.
but I think a few good ones to start with
Okay.
are, the English We Speak, which is a great one for learning idioms and expressions.
Yeah.
And then TED Talks Daily,
Okay.
which is just a fantastic way to kind of get exposed to different accents, different topics, different styles of speaking.
Okay.
And then, something like Serial,
Yeah.
which is, a really captivating storytelling podcast.
So a variety of different things.
Yeah. And honestly, the best resources are
Right.
the ones that you find
Okay.
genuinely interesting and engaging,
Right, because then
because that's what's going to keep you coming back for more.
that's going to keep you coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've heard about a technique called shadowing.
Oh, yes.
Is it supposed to be helpful for listening?
It's a fantastic technique.
Okay, so can you explain what that is?
So basically, shadowing is you're listening to a native speaker,
Okay.
and then you're trying to repeat
Okay.
what they're saying as closely as possible.
So mimicking their
Mimicking.
pronunciation,
Yeah.
intonation, even their rhythm. So it's kind of like vocal exercises.
Exactly.
They're for English.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym
Okay.
for your mouth
Yeah.
and for your ears.
I've never tried that before,
You should give it a try.
but it sounds really effective
It is.
to pronunciation.
Yeah, and you can do it anytime, anywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it with podcasts. You can do it with audiobooks.
Yes.
You can even do it with YouTube videos.
Right. So anything you're listening to.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So we've covered reading.
We have.
We've covered writing.
Listening.
Listening, yes.
Now let's talk about
The big one.
the big one.
The one that everybody gets a little bit nervous about.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Speaking.
Yes.
I think a lot of people,
Yeah.
myself included, we get nervous
It's understandable.
about speaking in a new language,
It is.
especially at an advanced level.
Especially when you're trying to reach that fluency,
Yeah.
where you can express yourself
Yeah.
with nuance.
With nuance. Yeah. And, and effortlessly.
Effortlessly. It
Yeah.
can be nerve-wracking.
It can be, but, the key
Yeah.
is just practice and exposure.
Practice and exposure.
Yeah. The more you practice speaking,
Yeah.
the more confident and comfortable you'll become.
Well, that's easy to say.
I know.
But sometimes it's hard to put into practice.
It is.
Especially if you don't have a lot of opportunities
Yeah.
to interact with native speakers.
Yeah.
How do you go about doing that?
Well, there's still lots of ways to practice.
Okay.
Even if you don't have regular access
Yeah.
to native speakers,
Right.
you can join online language exchange communities.
Oh,
You can find conversation partners
Right.
through apps or websites,
Yeah.
or, even record yourself speaking
okay.
and then listen back to it
So you can hear
so you can hear.
how you sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what about those moments where
Yeah.
you're having a conversation and you want to use like a sophisticated word
Yes.
or a phrase,
Yes.
but you're not sure if it sounds natural
Oh, I know that feeling.
or forced?
It's all about finding that balance.
Okay.
You don't want to sound like you're trying too hard
Yeah.
or, using a thesaurus
Yeah.
to impress people.
Yeah.
It's about using advanced vocabulary in
Yeah.
a way that feels natural and authentic to you.
So it's not about showing off
No.
your vocabulary. It's about using the right words.
It's about using the right words for the right situation
Right.
and in a way that feels,
To express yourself clearly.
yes, to express yourself clearly and effectively.
Okay.
So I always think about it like, adding spices to your cooking.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to overwhelm the dish with
Yeah.
too many flavors. But, a few well-placed spices
Yeah.
can really enhance the taste
Okay.
and make it more interesting.
I like that analogy because it's not about cramming
Right.
all these big words,
Exactly.
but it's about, thinking thoughtfully
It's about being strategic.
about how you use advanced vocabulary.
Exactly.
And the more you expose yourself
Yes.
to advanced English,
Yes.
the more it will just,
It would flow naturally.
it will start to flow naturally, yeah.
It's like building up that foundation.
A foundation, exactly.
And allowing your
The
spoken English to blossom.
blossom, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
From that.
And, remember, everyone makes mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Even native speakers. So don't be afraid to just experiment,
Yeah.
try out new words, try out new expressions.
Right.
The most important thing is to communicate
Right.
effectively and have fun while you're doing it.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like giving yourself permission
Yes.
to play
To play.
with
Yeah.
the language.
Exactly.
I like that.
And to not be afraid
Yeah.
to make mistakes.
Yeah. I think we've
I
covered
think so much.
so much ground already.
I know.
And I'm already feeling more
Having to
confident
think.
about my own English skills.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear.
Just from,
Yeah.
hearing your advice.
Well, remember, it's a journey.
It is.
And it's all about taking those small steps.
Yeah.
Celebrating the progress.
Right.
And never giving up.
Never give up.
No.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break
Okay.
and come back to tackle even more
More tips, more strategies.
tips and strategies
Yes.
in part 2
In part 2.
of our deep dive
I'm excited.
into advanced English.
Me too.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Okay. So we're back.
We are back.
And we're ready to dive even deeper
Deeper.
into this world of advanced English.
That's right.
And we've covered so much already.
I know we've covered so much.
From decoding tricky vocabulary
Yeah.
to expressing ourselves with more nuance and style.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not done yet.
No, not at all.
We still got plenty of tips
Oh, we've got a lot more.
and strategies to share,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to
Yeah.
integrating
Yes.
all 4 skill areas:
That's right.
reading, writing, listening, and speaking
Mm-hmm.
to create a truly holistic approach
Holistic. Yeah.
to language learning.
That's the key.
So it's not about mastering each skill in isolation.
Right.
It's about weaving them together
Yeah, weaving them together.
to create this tapestry
I love that analogy.
of fluency.
It's like a beautiful tapestry.
But how do you actually do that in practice?
Okay, so let's say you've just read a fascinating article
Okay.
about the future of artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Instead of just passively consuming that information,
Right.
why not challenge yourself
Okay.
to summarize the key points in writing?
So you're taking what you've read
Take what you've read,
and then processing it
put it into your own words
in a new way.
in a new way.
So you're reinforcing your comprehension, but you're also developing your writing skills.
You're synthesizing the information,
Yeah.
and you're expressing it in a new way.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And what about listening?
Okay, listen.
How can we connect that skill
Right.
to the other ones?
Okay, well, imagine you're listening to a podcast
Okay.
about a controversial topic,
Right.
like climate change.
Like,
Afterwards, you could have a discussion with a friend
oh,
or a family member
Okay.
about the main points
Okay.
that were raised in that podcast.
so you're taking those ideas
You're taking those
that
ideas
heard,
out of your head and then actually
putting them into practice.
talking about them
Okay.
with another person.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
So you're practicing your listening comprehension,
Yeah.
but you're also formulating
Right.
your own opinions.
And then speaking them.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a good way to practice.
it is.
You're listening and you're speaking. Yeah, and it helps you remember the information better too.
Oh, okay.
When you engage with it on multiple levels,
Okay.
it kind of gets embedded.
Embedded.
Yeah.
So it's not just about each skill individually.
Right.
It's finding these ways to connect them,
To connect them, yeah.
to create like a synergistic learning experience.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is inspiring.
Good.
It feels like, we're giving people
Yeah.
a blueprint for like
Yeah.
becoming masters of English.
That's the goal.
But let's be honest, sometimes even with like the best of intentions,
Yeah.
it can be tough to stay motivated
It can.
and consistent with language learning.
Yeah.
So, any tips?
Yeah, I think setting specific achievable goals
Okay.
is really important.
So instead of just aiming to improve your English,
Right, because that's very broad,
yeah, it's broad.
very vague.
Right.
Set a concrete target.
Okay.
So you could say, okay, this week I'm going to learn 10 new vocabulary words.
Okay, so specific,
Specific.
measurable.
Measurable, yeah.
I like that.
Or this month I'm going to write one short essay.
Okay.
Or every day I'm going to listen to
Great.
30 minutes of English podcasts.
So it's like it's broken down
Yeah, you break it
into these bite-sized pieces
bite-sized pieces.
that you can actually manage,
Exactly.
that feel achievable.
Yeah.
So you're not overwhelmed
You don't feel overwhelmed.
by this huge goal.
Yeah, because that can be really daunting.
Yeah.
And it can actually put people off.
Yeah.
So yeah, break it down into smaller chunks.
Make it manageable.
And then you can see your progress.
Right. So you're actually seeing the result and
Exactly.
you feel good about it.
Yeah, and that keeps you motivated.
It's encouraging to keep going.
Exactly.
And what about tracking your progress?
Oh, tracking is a fantastic idea.
Okay.
So you can use a simple notebook or a spreadsheet or even language learning apps
Right.
to keep track of your goals,
Okay.
your milestones, your achievements.
I like the idea of keeping like a
Yeah.
language learning journal.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Like write down interesting words you find, new phrases.
And, you can even reflect
Oh, yeah.
on how your journey is going.
Yeah.
Celebrate your successes.
Celebrate the little wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, even small steps are still progress.
It all adds up.
It all adds up in the
It's
end.
not about being perfect.
No, not at all. It's about
It's about consistency.
consistency.
It's about just chipping away at it.
chipping away at it,
Little by little.
little by little,
Every day.
every day.
Even if it's just for 15 minutes.
So you don't need
No, you don't
hours and hours.
You don't need to block out hours and hours.
Okay.
Just 15 minutes a day
15 minutes a day.
and make a big difference. A big difference. Okay.
It's like exercising a muscle.
Okay.
Regular, consistent workouts
Yeah.
will get you better results
That's it.
than one big, intense session.
Right. So it's like a marathon.
Exactly. It's a marathon.
Not a sprint.
It's not a sprint. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, it's about building those habits,
Yeah.
making it sustainable.
Yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
you've got so many tools and resources
Okay.
available to help you.
Okay.
Language learning apps, online dictionaries,
Yeah.
grammar checkers.
Right. There's a lot out there.
There is.
We don't have to do it alone.
No. And the best part is,
Yeah.
you've got this amazing community
Community. Yeah.
of language learners out there.
Yeah. So many people are learning English.
It's one of the most, spoken languages
Yeah.
in the world.
So we're not alone.
No.
And it makes it more fun
More fun, more enjoyable.
when you're doing it with others.
Absolutely. And more rewarding.
This is so positive.
Yeah.
It's like you're giving us a roadmap
Yeah.
for success.
A roadmap for success.
Not just with English,
No.
but like in life.
In life, exactly.
About that consistency.
Consistency.
It's about, celebrating the small wins.
Yeah, celebrating.
Remembering that it's a journey.
It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
And, the more you embrace that,
Yeah.
the more rewarding it will become.
And English is just this
It's a gateway
gateway to so many other things.
to so many other things.
Yeah, it's
How
about
do you
expanding your horizons,
expanding your horizons.
connecting with new cultures and new people,
Yeah, absolutely.
and unlocking.
Unlocking your potential
Yeah.
as a global citizen.
It makes me realize it's not just like
It's not just a set of skills.
a set of skills. Yeah.
It's so much more than that.
It's a journey
It's a journey, yeah,
of self-discovery.
of self-discovery.
Yeah, I like that.
It's about growth.
Okay, so we've covered so much
We have.
in just these 2 parts,
I know, it's amazing.
but we have one more part to go,
One more to go.
so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We've got some exciting final thoughts
Final thoughts, yes.
and a thought-provoking question
The thought-provoking question
to leave you with.
to leave you with.
So stick around
Stick around
for the grand finale.
for the grand finale.
All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into advanced English fluency. And I have to say,
Yeah.
I'm feeling super energized after all the amazing tips and insights we've covered.
I know, me too.
But before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay.
What are some of the biggest kind of breakthroughs or aha moments you've had in your own language learning journey?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the biggest kind of light bulb moments was realizing that language learning, it's not just about memorizing rules and vocabulary.
Oh, yeah.
It's about developing this deeper understanding of how language works
Yeah.
as a system of communication.
So it's like
Cracking a code.
cracking a code, exactly.
Yeah, like understanding the underlying principles.
The structure, the patterns.
Yeah, and then it makes it easier to
You can kind of
navigate those nuances.
all the little
Yeah.
twists and turns of English.
Exactly. You start to see the connections
Yeah.
between different parts of the language.
It makes it less intimidating.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
And, another kind of breakthrough for me was actually
Yeah.
embracing the idea of making mistakes
Okay.
as part of the process.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up
Right.
in that fear of making a mistake.
Especially when you're like
When you're speaking.
speaking, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to mess this up.
It's just special. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to mess this up.
But the truth is,
Yeah.
mistakes are inevitable.
Yeah. You get to make a,
You are.
yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
They're actually valuable learning opportunities. Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Instead of
seeing them as failures.
beating yourself up.
Exactly.
It's more about
It's like, oh, this is a chance for me to learn and grow.
Yeah, I think a lot of language learners, myself included,
Yeah.
we tend to be perfectionists.
Yeah. We want to get it right.
We want to get it right every time.
Every single time.
Yeah.
But you know what?
What?
It's okay to let go
Okay.
of that need for perfection.
All right, give myself permission
Give yourself permission,
to not be perfect.
to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because that's how you learn.
Yeah, okay, so embrace the messiness
Embrace the messiness, yeah.
of the learning process.
Because that's where the magic happens.
Okay, I like that. And speaking of,
Yeah.
not being afraid to experiment,
Yeah.
I think it's so important to find ways to make
To make it fun.
language learning fun and engaging.
Fun and engaging, yeah.
So do you have any tips for I think one of my favorite ways is to connect it to your other interests and passions.
Oh,
So for
Definitely.
example, if you're a movie buff,
yeah.
why not watch
Okay.
English language films
Yeah.
with subtitles?
Okay.
Or if you love music,
Okay.
try listening to English language songs
Yeah.
and read the lyrics.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's about kind of finding those things that you already enjoy.
Yeah. So you're not
Yeah, and then you're kind of
forcing it,
you're sneaking in the language learning
sneaking it in. Yeah.
without it feeling like a chore.
It's more natural.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
more organic.
I like that.
And I think it's also important to,
Yeah.
celebrate your progress.
Celebrate those little wins.
Celebrate those little wins.
Yeah.
No matter how small.
Even if it's just like, I learned a
Yes.
new word today.
Yeah, or I understood a whole sentence in a podcast.
And I didn't have to look it up.
yeah, exactly.
And that's a win.
It's a win.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that
Yeah.
language learning,
It's a journey.
it's a journey,
It is
not a destination.
a destination, yeah.
You know, there's always going to be
Right.
more to learn, more to explore.
There's always another level.
There is.
Just reach.
And, you know, the beauty of it is
Yeah.
the journey itself
Yeah.
is so rich
Yeah.
and so filled with discoveries.
Discoveries.
So embrace those challenges.
Okay.
Savor the victories
I like that.
and never stop exploring.
Keep going.
Keep going, yeah.
All right. So it feels like we've come full circle
We have
in this deep dive.
full circle from
From the practical.
the practical to the mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's all about.
And I hope our listener is feeling
Yeah.
empowered and inspired
Inspired and ready
to continue their journey
to keep going.
with English.
But before we say goodbye,
Yes.
I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Oh, I like these.
Okay.
Okay.
So imagine you've reached that
Certainly true.
advanced level of English fluency.
They're there.
What doors do you see opening?
What opportunities?
Yeah. What opportunities and possibilities
That's a good one.
do you envision for yourself?
Yeah, think about that.
We would love to hear
We would.
your aspirations
Yeah.
and your
And
dreams.
as you continue
Yeah.
on your journey, remember,
Yeah,
we are here to cheer you on
we are.
every step of the way.
So keep practicing, keep exploring,
Yes.
keep believing in your potential.
You've got this.
Until next time,
Until next time.
happy learning.
Happy learning.